Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, just pick people who are going to align with your ego's soul, right? This one's a new one. I'm sure most people don't think about your soul's ego, but your soul has an ego because this is those voices that you hear going back and forth where you're like, well, I really want to do this, the human avatar, right? This is what makes me comfortable. This is what I'm used to. And then there's a voice in your head that's like, no, I want to do this. And then I want to do this. And we talk about the devil and the angel. Okay. To me, that is your soul going back and forth with its ego. Because if me, the avatar, knows, let's say, I love hanging out with anybody and everybody, but this group of friends loves to drink and I don't want to drink, right? I can go hang out in that group of friends and they can drink all day and I'll be just fine. If my soul's ego is like, well, I want to have fun too, I want to drink, and I'm like, we're fine, we don't need it. But my soul is like, I'm convinced that I deserve this, I should have this. That to me is soul ego because distortion belongs to the dark side of the soul. The soul is a dark side of us that none of us can really see, right? So it has its shadow side too. So when you understand that if it becomes a decision that is distorted just based on emotional distortion, that is your soul's ego. So in that situation, as I said, if I'm sitting there happy as can be, content, just fine, everyone knows that I don't drink, but they're happy that I'm there, that's great. These are my people. This is my tribe. If someone in that group was like, come on, drink, come on, you're so boring, you're so lame, and I'm still fine, okay, go do you. That's your distortion of your drunk ego. Now, if my ego, of my soul is like, oh, they're right though. Like you had a long week, you didn't do anything. You deserve that drink, but I physically know that I physically will get sick. I don't want to do it, but I convince myself with my soul's distortion that I should drink, and now I do it, and now I'm waking up the next day feeling sick, bank account depleted, not happy with myself, and it's like I should have trusted that instinct. You remember that? Everyone has that gut instinct that's like, no, don't do it. That's not your devil and your angel. That is you, the physical body, saying, I don't want to do this. And then when the physical body speaks to its own ego, which is, do I need to do this to fit in? No. Right there, that's autonomy. But in the spiritual world, we still have these inclinations of, well, I've done everything so good. Like, I do everything. I deserve this thing. I deserve. And it's like, that's part to me becomes distorted within the soul because it's seeing something of like it's keeping a tally and it's saying like, well, I did all this that you wanted me to do, because remember, the soul is tortured, okay, no matter where it's end it comes from. It can be loving, but the soul is always a past life, which means on some level it's tortured. It's stuck somewhere that it doesn't want to be. And now it's in this human avatar body, which is me, reliving these realities and these experiences, emotions from the past. And then that's when I come in and I get to interpret that energy. Because if I can heal from my past, I can teach my soul how to heal from its past. It's not an easy one to comprehend, but it's necessary to understand that when you're doing soul work, it's about letting that soul have space to catch up to itself. Because if it's always catering to the human body, the human avatar of woe is me, why is this happening to me, stuff is always going to happen. And I'm not saying this to laugh in people's face as if their experiences aren't warranted, but at this point, as all humans, we're experiencing the most human we can all experience being human. We know that anything can happen to any of us at any time. We're all going to pass from this earth one day. So the reality is, no matter how much we dress it up and try to make ourselves feel more educated or more glamorous, it's all going to go away one day. So, paying attention to how your soul speaks to you and how your soul is interpreting energy of what you're experiencing tells you what part of your journey you're on. For me, my dad, he was a boozy. He drank all the way till he passed, right? I learned that I never wanted to be that. It's not that I judged him for drinking. I didn't want to be someone who only needed drinking to be able to function, right? Do what you want to do with what your body, but if it gets to the point where you can't function, Now it's the avatar giving up on the soul's path because the soul is no longer trusted by the ego, because the ego's like, you told me that if I would drink, I would fit in and I would be accepted and I would be loved. And now I'm here by myself, hungover, no one's checking in, no one cares, right? And the soul's like, my bad, my bad. But we have fun though, right? And it's like, this is what soul work is about. You want to trust this thing that's inside of your body. The human avatar has to be smart enough to know who to trust and who to believe, and it starts with yourself. You know, all that self-love we talk about, self-trust, that's where it begins too. Because when you have trust in the things that flow through you, the thoughts that flow through you, the emotions that come through you through situation, happenstance, and you, the avatar, can say yes or no, this is good for me, then the soul can see where it's past. It said, ooh, I picked the opposite. Thank God I'm in this avatar, because that last time I picked the opposite, I walked off a cliff and I was gone and I had to start all over again. If you believe in this stuff, that's just how it goes. It's a video game. So paying attention to how you make connections with people and how you make connections with yourself is, again, what's important to keeping your soul alive and keeping your avatar alive. And so the same thing with friendships and relationships. You want to pick people that you vibe with. You don't want to just pick people based on aesthetic, because that soul that you're hanging out with might not actually like your soul. And in a past life, they was beefing. And somehow that's when people be like, I don't know why I don't like this person. Like, they are the best person, but I don't like them. Because your souls is beefing. And that's where I say those avatars don't need to be around each other. That's when people accidentally hurt their friends, right? Because of some random jealousy that sparks up. You gotta know your soul path, which is why I say when I meet other people who are spiritual, that does not guarantee that we are friends. It just means that they understand my language, and that means I have to pay attention even more. So be wise, be mindful, but be open. It's not about shutting people down automatically because you don't vibe with them. But definitely make sure that there's a connection to the soul so that the soul can see who it used to be. Because if there's any agitations or triggers, it means that you need to heal through that and walk through it so that you won't repeat it or repeat a cycle in this current journey or your next. All right? I hope that makes sense. Love ya.